I got fat during COVID. I was ripped. Now it's hard for me because some fat cunt who was fat and I've got to fucking save that fat fuck. Fuck you.
We're recording.
Fuck you, you fat fuck. Hello and welcome to 3Speech Season 2 episode. I don't know. What episode is this, Mooch?
Fuck knows.
15?
No,
episode 15. And what an episode it is, because today we have a very special guest. We're joined by none other than Radu.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming, Radu.
You shouldn't have said special guest. I feel bad now.
Well, no, Radu, you're a very special guest. Leo can't be here because he's currently touring in Austria, so he can really get a feel for that hate speech that he's been going on about. As ever, I'm joined by, today Radu is Leo, but as ever, I'm here with the Beijing sensation.
What's going on? Yeah.
Nico Yearwood, and the man who produces it all, Mooch About Time.
You good?
We're all good, man. Well, this has been a big week, but before we get into that, let's just quick a little bit about you.
So I'm a comedian, and I know you from doing your show.
Yeah.
And I like you. I know Nico from doing Top Secret, and I'm like a Romanian comedian. Been a comedian for a long time. A lot of people think I'm good. And I don't have that much.
Modest, he's modest.
I don't have that many like social media followers, so I have to just kind of keep the memory of people that told me I'm good.
So Radu is, I confirm everything he just said. He's a very, very funny comedian. He's the Romanian immigrant. He's done Hate and Live many times, and he always smashes that, and he always smashes gigs. He's very funny. And you used to be kind of famous in Romania.
I think now I'm the most famous I've been in Romania. It's weird because kind of the scene is growing in Romania, and even if I'm not there, I'm still a bit growing with the scene.
So you're
mythical. You're mythical.
Yeah, that's
yes.
sort of like the only time my fame goes down in Romania is when I go there.
What are you doing here? Why are you not?
So in Romania, can you walk down the street? Like, what level of fame?
Oh no, I get like. So I came back like a week ago from Romania. It was like a full plane full of people, and one of them asked to have a picture taken with me.
That's brilliant.
Just one.
One from like the plane was full.
What
of Romanians?
I'm gonna assume, yeah.
Okay.
Who were you flying with?
I think Wizz Air.
Wizz Air.
I like the low cost airlines.
Radu, if you just speak just a bit closer to
okay.
the mic, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, cheers, bro.
Wow. So
Yeah, I like the low cost airlines. I know everybody hates on them. I fucking love them.
I also
Yes,
love them.
I was looking for that.
You can lift your mic up there, Radu, so you don't have to like lean into it. We can all do that. This is what happens when you don't prepare before the podcast. We've just been here discussing Radu's Romanian adventure, and you said it actually wasn't so good because it's all shut down because of all the COVID's.
Yeah. Apparently, it's like exploding. It's exploding there. So people,
What's exploding? Comedy or COVID?
I think
Both.
COVID comedy has been exploded for like the last 10 years or something, but now it's sort of.
We gigged in Romania, didn't we?
Oh, I booked that gig,
think-
but I wasn't there with you. But yeah, most
you
of
were.
the-
You didn't perform.
No,
It was me,
I think Bobby Mayer.
Jason
Jason
Patterson, and Bobby Muir. I thought you hosted.
No, I think it was just the three of you.
Or maybe I hosted.
What was it like? What was Romania like?
It was nice, man. I didn't get to do much walking around. We were only there for like a day, 2 days, or a day and a half. But yeah, it was cool, man. But it was the weather was very bleak.
Okay.
It was very grey skies and whatnot.
It sort of depends on when, but generally like October, November, way better weather in Romania than in the UK.
And there were a lot of, would you say there were a lot of ruined buildings or old buildings?
Yeah.
A lot of old dilapidated buildings in the area we were?
Yeah. But like in entirety of Bucharest. It's very weird. I used to be comfortable with that, but now I'm not as comfortable walking around, walking next to those buildings.
Yeah, so a lot of like dilapidated or just old,
What will fall
buildings and whatnot.
They'll fall on your head or something.
No, the
but
signs
then-
that actually say the building parts of the building are falling. they put out the sign that means you can't sue the building.
Oh, okay.
So as long as it fell on your head and you're dead, but there was a sign, so it's pretty funny.
No, it was cool though. We went to a lovely restaurant. I don't know the name of it. but
Wait,
it
it's
was
you and Jason Patterson.
me, Jason, and Bobby Muir.
So you increased the black population of Romania by about 2 million%.
No, we actually saw. I think we saw one black dude.
Romania.
When we were there, yeah.
There's
I
like
don't know if he's Romanian.
there's like a black comedian now in Romania that almost speaks
He must
like
be.
speaks a bit of Romanian.
Oh, okay.
Ours is Romanian.
It's good enough. Like nobody speaks Romanian. Who's like very few people learn Romanian, and whenever somebody learns it, we kind of just lose our minds because we're not used to hearing foreigners even try.
It's like when a white person sings a dancehall song on stage in comedy, the crowd goes nuts.
Or a rap.
Because they don't not rap so much, but
Well,
like
for-
a dancehall, a Jamaican dancehall.
For a black audience, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
When a white comedian performs in front of a black audience and does a dancehall tune or a reggae tune, they lose their mind.
They lose their mind.
Yeah.
You know anything about Romania, Mooch?
No, I just know a fellow comic, Victor Patrascan,
Yeah.
who's he's doing some really cool stuff, traveling. He's like doing a nomadic sort of tour. So he goes to these different countries, books a tour. He's there for like one night. Like he's got like his Facebook ads sorted, and he's making a living just touring around.
So basically, when COVID started, we were kind of still smoking together here, and he just sort of
What were you smoking?
weed. That's sort of I was smoking it. Victor can talk for himself, but he would. Why would he pay rent here for like the next 6 months and do nothing? So he just kind of booked some shows in Berlin, and he just kept moving ahead of the pandemic. He always found like a country where shows were open, like in the last
So what
18 months.
So what I'm hearing is
He brought
he brought the pandemic. It's not gone there yet. Let me just bring it there. The harbinger of the pandemic. Just
everywhere you go, you always.
Yeah, maybe, but if he's making a living, that's excusable.
yeah, he's making a living at the expense of all the people dying in his way.
Well, that's most big corporations these days. But
Exactly.
yeah, no, he said he sat
He
down.
was here last week, wasn't he?
I
I
think
got
he's-
him a spot at Top Secret.
Yeah. I
He's
think
very
he
funny.
recently
Victor.
left.
I like Victor.
He's very good.
Really dark sense of humor. That
Yeah, I do sort of regret that we moved the conversation from myself.
What do we call him? You're the Romanian immigrant. I know Victor's just Victor.
Victor was saying he got robbed when he
Yeah.
came over.
Oh yeah. He got
Someone
left like
stole all
in
his
Milan.
money and bag
Yeah.
and stuff.
Where in Milan?
in Italy, yeah,
in the
some-
airport in Milan or something like
I think it was
that.
a bus station or something like that. He fell asleep.
Yeah, bus station,
and
yeah.
someone was just rifling through his stuff. He chased after them, and then when he was chasing after them, someone nicked
Somebody
his
grabbed
bag
him.
as well.
Oh.
So it got double fucked, which is horrible.
Apparently, he got robbed by like a different Romanian in Italy, and then he lost like his passport and shit, like all his papers, and he just felt like a big sort of just like blood, like a very
He
bloody
fell and
hand.
skidded and took the layer of skin off his shoulder. Yeah.
And then he sort of went to like the embassy and all the places to like redo all the paperwork. But he still somehow didn't go to the police, or he went to the police but they didn't help or something like that. But basically he got ahead in line in like every line while redoing his passport because he had a very bloody hand. The most urgent case of the embassy was Victor for a while. The dude with the bloody hand and no paperwork.
A bad day at the office for Victor. All right. Well, so anyway, but other than that, there's no Leo this week, which is a shame. But we got Radu, who's in many ways much funnier than Leo.
More handsome as well.
More handsome.
I would say that, yeah.
Funnier.
More hair as well.
Easier to understand accent.
Yeah.
Radu, what are your views on the hate crime bill? This is what we need to know.
What's the hate crime bill?
That's exactly what
This
we
is
know.
going to be great. This will be a great show.
I think we should be allowed to hate on shit. Why not?
Yeah.
Don't kick anybody.
All
Don't
right,
hit anybody.
you're sounding
hate
like
on
Leo
people.
now. Next, you're going to be tell us about Hamza or whatever his name is, and Nicola Sturgeon. So this week, it's been a kind of we live in a clown world. We're all aware of that now. So what's first on our?
You got the list, bro.
All right, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
As comedians, you saw Dave Chappelle last night.
Yeah.
But obviously, this follows on from The Closer.
Yeah.
Did you watch? You've seen?
Yeah,
The Closer?
I saw it last night. I saw the Netflix. I got ready for the podcast.
You seen The Closer?
I have, yeah, of course.
So we've all seen The Closer. You've seen it.
Yeah.
So what is your just general thoughts on The Closer, just as a comedian, and then maybe as a civilian? Like, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I have seen some of the material at Leicester Square Theatre, but yeah, it was still enjoyable, and I like that he's, he's making fun or making jokes about stuff that some people think you shouldn't joke about. And I like that he is just holding his own and saying, look, you have to understand who is the target of the joke. Don't just listen to the joke and be like, ooh, you know, which is something that happened to me as well.
Well, it's exactly what happened to you, because
Yeah.
you said that exact same thing. You went, you hear a word and it triggers you.
Yeah, so I appreciate that he's using these terms and these phrases and mentioning these groups and doing jokes with them in them, or with, you know, with them being in the joke and not backing away from it. So I really appreciate that, because too many people getting offended and not interpreting or listening properly to the joke. So yeah, I really, for me, of his 5 specials, that one I enjoyed the most.
Well, the closer. You enjoyed the closer the most.
And the one with the Bill Cosby one. The Bill Cosby, he,
is that the
he rapes,
kicked her
but
up
he
in the,
saves?
Yeah. Is that the one where he's got kicked her in the pussy as well? Is that the same one? Where,
Yeah, I think so.
Where
Yeah.
I love that joke where he kind of sort of gives you this is how it's going to happen. This is what the punchline is going to be, and then
Yeah, I like those 2 the most. But yeah, I'm very happy that he's not backing down. And then I went and saw him last night as well, and he came out and he did that he's saying gay people want to ban him from stuff. He's like, I don't need that gay shit. He's like, you want to ban me from Broadway? Deal. You know, you want to ban me from some others? I can't remember what was he say.
is that why he didn't do Vauxhall?
Yeah, possibly.
Did you invite him, Mooch?
I couldn't get hold of him. We had Ashley Barnhill down here though on the Ding Dong Gong show. That's the closest we've had to getting Dave.
And he said, you want to ban me from, well, I can't remember, some sort of, I don't know what gay people go to, but he had another one. He's like, yeah, deal, you know. So he's like, I don't care. And then he did a joke where he used the F word.
What's the F word?
The one that rhymes with maggot.
Yeah, he did a joke where
You're not allowed to say that?
You can say whatever you want, but like,
you can say it, but you
have to refer to a cigarette.
It has to be well constructed. Whereas again, someone who's not listening or who just wants to say offense would be, oh, he said the F word. So it's good to see that he's not like, backing down or staying away from things that are controversial.
What do you think about it, the closer?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my 2 best, the 2 specials of Dave Chappelle that I loved the most was the first 2 that he did like 20 years ago. I thought those.
Is that the one with the baby? Hey, baby.
One of them was like killing
Go
them
home.
softly, and one of them was like the one where he got his house robbed, and he can't call the police because the police with his place is too nice, and the police would think would think the perpetrator is still in the house.
what I liked about last night, even though like some of the jokes weren't like amazing jokes, he was just coming out and telling jokes, punching, rather than, because I thought a couple of the last few were kind of like lectures, more like preachy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to. It feels like it's like a bit of Nanette, but just to the other side of the audience.
Yeah. So a few of them felt kind of preachy to me, so it was good to see last night he just came out and told jokes, like boom, boom, boom. It was like a clubby set, and it was just funny. Even though none of the jokes were like, wow, that's an amazing bit that will stay with you forever, he was just funny.
he did. What was that thing he dropped during the pandemic?
The George Floyd one, like
419, or what was it?
Yeah.
I think it was 8:17.
That's 419.
It was the one that had like
That's a different thing.
had like 19 minutes and one joke in it.
There was no jokes. But it wasn't a special for that. And I think that there's a difference between that and what the specials that he's being paid 20 million for are. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed other specials more. I think I'm going to give it another listen. One thing I think people are missing is that, like, you know, he does talk about this in the special, is that he's not comparing plights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, cool, this is how he's talking about how black people or the black movement is jealous of the LGBTQ plus sort of plight, and I think its convolution there is frustrating, I imagine. It also, Netflix have doubled down and said they back the show. Like the Netflix CEO has called himself, he's Team Turf, which was.
He came back out last night. He did some trans jokes as well.
Did he? What were the joke?
So he wasn't like, he's not like budging really.
Yeah.
He said he went to a club full of transgender women, and the bouncer was a trans and didn't let him in, and he's like, ooh, stiff armed him like really strong and stuff like that. But he's not backing down. So it's good to see somebody just holding their own and being like,
it's important.
You gotta understand who is the real target of the joke, where it's coming from. Because, and this is the thing, but there's not going to be any comedian out there really just doing vindictive, malicious, like, you know what I mean, like spiteful material.
Yeah, I agree.
There's
who does that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't get where these people are
This is what's confusing. So I watched it. I saw it on the train, right? I thought there was a few bits where I thought that's really, really funny. There was a few jokes which I thought I didn't get, and I didn't like the Space Jews one. I was like, I'm not Jewish, so I didn't find it offensive, but I just thought it's come out of the blue. It wasn't a good joke. But I actually thought he made fun of trans people, but I don't think. For me, the message wasn't like, I hate trans people. The most important takeaway from that special was he said, listen, and I know for a fact, 'cause I've been arguing with nerds on Facebook, that people aren't listening. I spoke to one guy, he's this is anti-trans. I go, did you watch the special? He goes, yeah. I go, were you offended at any other jokes? He says, no, nothing else was offended. So you weren't offended at the anti-Semitism. You weren't offended at black people beating up Chinese. You just offended this. He goes, I heard it I just was listening to this special in the background. I said, that's what it takes to cancel a black man now. You won't even give him your full attention. You just decide to cancel him based on what you hear in the background. And the thing is, even in the special, Dave Chappelle says, listen to the words I'm saying, right? And if you listen to it, the message I got from it, he said, his friend said to him, listen, you don't have to believe I'm a woman. You just have to believe I'm having a human experience. And I thought that was telling, because the message is like, we're all human at the end of the day. And if the trans people want to be included or they want special treatment. If you want to be included, then there's going to be jokes made about you, right? If you don't want to be, okay, we'll take that topic off the table and let's put that away. You can't be part of the comedy thing. So I thought it was very funny. There's a few bits that weren't funny, but the same people would tell you that Dave Chappelle, the closer, wasn't funny, are the same people that will straight-faced look you in the eye and say that Nanette is the greatest comedy special of all time, when we know for a fact Nanette is drizzling shit.
No, I think both have like comedic value, but you have to agree with the
Radu. I'll kick you off the podcast. No, Radu. No.
I feel like
Nanette has no comedic value. Nanette is shit.
So I can't.
No, listen.
I couldn't make it through. I was on the train and I switched off after 15, 20 minutes. And I know that probably is like half of the point of it. You've got to watch all of it and sort of, Yeah, you've just done
the other way around. But Nanette, as a comedy special, Nanette was drizzling shit. Her only joke was like, she was like, oh, people say that. Oh, people say that. Oh, that laughter is the best medicine. Oh, I think medicine is the best medicine. Like the hackish, that was a joke, and that was the only actual joke
and
in a thing.
And that's an old-ass joke.
It's a shit joke. It wasn't
an original joke.
Yeah, and I know all about that. That was just one of them jokes, right? It was just like, fuck, I was genuinely drizzling shit. But anyway,
I did read like a GQ article. I just read like a GQ article today about the Dave Chappelle special. It was like a black gay dude, and that's so apparently black gay people are the ones that got most offended by the special, because they kind of have both. Like they've got
skin in the game with both of them.
Exactly.
I believe that's called intersectionality.
The dude in the GQ article actually wrote in the article that I didn't watch it till the end because I don't have to watch comedy I don't have to watch till the end if I'm offended by it. But then again, you don't have to fucking write the article if you didn't watch it till the end.
Oh, so the guy who wrote the article,
didn't watch it
till the end.
Made a point of it.
Oh, I'm gonna read the start of that article and not finish it. Just
people just this is what I'm saying is they don't listen. They're not.
Well, that's
they
what
just
your video said.
Yeah.
And you
They just
actually
wanna
said
show.
you've heard one word, but
Yeah.
listen to the concept behind. And the best thing you said is that you hear a word, no matter how the context, it triggers you, and you want to be a fucking hero about it.
Yeah.
It was.
And after that set, like every other gay person in that room came up to me and said, "That's a great joke. Keep doing that joke." A lesbian couple came up to me, and 3 other gay dudes came up to me, and were like, "It's a fantastic joke."
I mean, it was a gig at Chariots, but
It's a great joke. Keep doing it, whatnot. So yeah, that guy wasn't listening. And then he wanted to take because at first when I wrote the joke, I know I had it covered in that I am not saying anything about gay people. I'm saying the environment that I grew up in, where we used to use that term gay as an insult. That's the environment. Some people still do it to this day.
what, as in when you used to say, "Oh, that's gay." Or
Yeah,
everyone did that.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
just Barbados.
Right. So I was saying I was setting the scene of what was happening back then. So I wasn't talking about. And then when I do mention a person, it's a imaginary person. It's a completely imaginary scenario. And I was with me being my younger self back then. 20-something years ago in an imaginary scenario, and he goes, "Why you take the piss off of that guy?" I'm like, dude, that guy doesn't exist. That whole scenario isn't a real scenario, and I'm telling him to be gay in the scenario.
Yeah.
So
It's a fictionalized, made-up thing.
Yeah, it's complete bonkers. So I went to Mark and I said, "Mark, do you think?" Mark is like, "No, it's a perfectly good joke."
Man, you know what?
I'm like, what's the guy on about? It's mad.
These people, who go out deliberately to get offended, are the same people who go out and say, "You have to be vaccinated, you have to be a mask." Listen, if you're too scared, everything's too effective, you stay fucking home. Let everyone else go and enjoy their life. Stay home. Like you said, no one's going out there deliberately, "Oh, you know what, today I'm going to make hate speech jokes." Like, we know instantly, because the audience will tell you.
The audience will pull back. The audience will go. It's like when that girl did that joke about that I had put up, and then I pulled it down. I blurred out her face. She says something derogatory about Muslims, and then I go on stage after her, and I go, "My name is Nico. I'm a Muslim," and cry, because they didn't laugh at her joke because it was a genuinely insulting joke.
Yeah, I remember that now.
To be performing in cosmopolitan, progressive, diverse central London
And still be angry.
and that crowd was shut down on you
Instantly.
immediately as soon as they hear anything that is truly hurtful.
Yeah.
That crowd, and that's a comedy savvy audience at Top Secret. So you're in there. You got all sorts of people in that. They're trans people that go to Top Secret, whatever. If you did say something genuinely insulting, the crowd would not back you.
Yeah, and
Especially you get a lot of uni students as well who are super woke. Even one of the ladies at that show, she was like, "Listen, I am one of these right on woke people, and everything in your set, I loved it." So, that one guy, he wasn't even, when I asked him, "What did I say that was hurtful to gay people?" And then he switches and he goes, "Oh, no. Well, it's the camp thing." Because there's a bit in a joke where I say about, in Barbados, you kind of have to be hard. You can't be like showing, you know what I mean? You can't, right. So he's like, he knows that I had the gay thing. I said nothing about gay people. So then he goes, "Oh, but you said something about being camp." I'm like,
what?
Come on, man. Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous.
I think Marlon Wayans or someone, or one of the Wayans brothers, got interviewed by TMZ, and he said Dave Chappelle is what he's doing. He's he's showing that you don't have to be silenced.
Yes, you don't have to bow. That's why I say
I look.
I love that.
I think there's a difference between Dave Chappelle doing that when he's banked 100 mil from 5 specials already, and Radu coming on stage and
no. I agree with what Marlon Wayans is saying. Is that and I was talking about this on Twitter. I think the tide is changing. I think most people just want to hear jokes now. I think people just want to hear good jokes. No, what you're saying is that you can still go up there and Radu can go up there and do those jokes. I can go up there and do these jokes. Darius can go up there and do these jokes as long as they are written well.
Yeah, of course. But I think there's a little bit more credit in the bank, and there's a bit more time listening to those jokes. If you're a Dave Chappelle,
Yeah. But that's for any celeb.
What happened to you?
But if it depends where you are as well. If you do it at a uni, you're gonna struggle, because I've seen uni students they're gone.
Yeah, they're more on.
They're completely.
But also,
But
it's
what
not
happened
just,
to your top secret? That's sort of, you're also lucky that like Mark's like a cool person, but other clubs might have banned you from just what happened with the guy offended on your gay bet.
No, I
just from that, I think a club would ban you, and there are clubs in the UK that would have banned you
from
that.
one guy.
Yeah, because they kind of feel like, well, the less controversy, the less work for us to do.
And no, I don't think so.
Well, but the point then, even if that is true, that's why Top Secret's the best club, and that club that you're thinking of, which I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty certain.
I don't think.
No, I think Radu's right. There's some clubs, if you were to do that at a certain club, for example,
with one complaint.
Maybe.
I think also because Top Secret films everything and they can see what was being said. A lot of the times you're not going to have everything being filmed in buttfuck nowhere, and they get a complaint about it after the show. They don't know about the joke, so they just automatically assume the worst and go, all right, I'm just going to appease the customer because that's the most important thing.
And not even the fact that you would get banned, you would just not get the rebooking.
Yeah.
Because that's the different, but it's also, for you, it means the same exact thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, I think there are clubs that would do that. I agree with Radu, but it shouldn't be done. But there's definitely clubs that would pull it. Like, the thing with Mark,
not off of one guy's comment.
I don't know, man.
I don't want to name the club now.
I think you should.
Name the club, Radu. Do it.
They're not booking you anyway, obviously, because they've been banned for saying something.
Yeah, but that happened like 3 years ago, and I think they're forgetting.
What club is this that banned people?
Oh, they just don't book you anymore, but they're just they also.
Are we talking Quantum Leopard?
Oh well, Quantum Leopard would definitely.
Oh yeah,
they would pull you for that.
I can name that one.
I would speak to the guy and explain.
All right, let me tell you what. I'll tell you.
Wait. No, hang on. This is the thing. I tell people, the joke I'm doing does more. It's a progressive joke. When you look at it, it is a progressive joke. It is a joke ridiculing the attitudes that people had to gay stuff and gay people. If you look at that joke on paper or really listen and read it, it is a progressive joke. And not only is it a progressive joke, it's a progressive joke coming from a dude who was raised in an area that is still kind of seen as homophobic. So this joke is doing more to say it's okay to be gay and whatever, and have friends who are gay and whatnot, than it is the other side.
You have Nico's permission.
But people are not listening to that. No, I'm not saying I'm the person to do that, but I'm saying...
you have my permission.
I'm saying in the Caribbean, and it is still kind of a big thing if you are... Yeah. It's not easy to come out in the Caribbean.
No.
So for someone from that region to do a joke, kind of like ridiculing how we used to be,
I still think you'd get banned from. I still think you'd get banned. If you want to know the clubs that you'd
name
get banned.
the clubs that would get banned from, then let's go. Let's not.
Quantum
that's not
Leopard.
A club, though. That's a net.
All right then.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you a club that you'd get banned from. The clubs that Leo are banned. Any club that Leo is banned from, you would get banned from that. So you're looking at the Stand. The Stand would probably pull you for that.
Would the Stand pull you for that?
Maybe.
Or did the Stand not Leo because of the SMT
And it sort of
stuff?
also depends on the staff member in the club that reports it to the superior. If the staff member likes Chappelle, you wouldn't get banned.
Radu, how many clubs you blocked from? By staff members, how many clubs are you banned from?
I don't know. Maybe like 2, but not really banned. I've never actually
chased
gotten
up
like an
another
email
gig.
of being
Okay.
getting banned. I just kind of felt like, okay, well, those people, obviously.
I don't know. It would cause problems. I don't know. For me, it's not an issue. But I understand that some clubs like we just don't need the hassle of the rogue mob.
They don't want the
kind of-
smoke. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
get it completely. It's kind of it's the same exact thing as why corporations back down and sort of
Yeah, exactly.
and sack people. It's kind of like, okay, cool. Look, what do we need less? A PR nightmare or Karen from accounts? He said some wild shit online. Speaking of comedy clubs that are getting cancelled, Comedy Carnival
I was about to say.
just got for those who don't know, Comedy Carnival is a night at Bar Rumba up in the West End. And I know I've worked in the West End for many, many years, and I know the nightmare that the door policies for a lot of these clubs are. A disabled customer was told she wasn't able to come into the club with her walking stick because it could be used as a weapon. And it's just it's the pure stupidity and morons that are on the door sometimes. But then sometimes these guys are literally just following orders.
Yeah, maybe they're also professionals, and at one point somebody did fake a limp to get in with a cane and started the thing.
But it's kicked off.
Okay.
The lady posted about it on Twitter. Comedy Carnival replied with what I thought was quite a
A measured response.
Yes.
A real reasonable measure.
honest,
response.
and it's kind of like, look, and it was being taken to bits. Twitter lawyers have come on.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, because I felt that they're both. Listen, actually, in this situation, the woman's completely
pull out the
right.
tweet.
100%. Yeah, I'm gonna. Do
I mean,
it.
how can you turn someone down when she's disabled and needs a walking stick? So she's 100% right. And I also, actually, I feel for Comedy Carnival. 'cause
Oh,
they're
massively.
Like, it's like, listen, we want you in. The door staff are being. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
venue policy. So I think really.
But that's like a police matter right now,
Yeah,
right?
well,
The
it should
police
be-
is going to shut down the entire venue?
No. I think essentially I don't know. The rumors are, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, say the rumors, man.
That
With naming
Comedy
names.
Carnival are looking for new venues because.
okay.
Well, so apparently, what happened is they offered her tickets to the other show, but she couldn't get there, and they wouldn't cover the taxi fare for her to get to there in time.
Okay.
And kind of see that. But this is why sometimes it pays to go above and beyond. If they'd have paid £8 for her to go, she would have been super happy customer.
Yeah.
She would have enjoyed the show, and they would have done that, and then this wouldn't have blown up. But I also think really they've got it harsh because it's fucking Bar Rumba. Like, okay, some people might use it, but she's evidently disabled, right?
Yeah.
She even apparently asked, can you like bring this stick down, carry it down because I can't bring it down. It's like.
No, she asked to be carried down or help to be carried down.
Just, can you carry me downstairs? I don't know. You might kick off. So that's a mad one.
If I'm ever going to fake like an injury to get into a club with a cane, I'm going to remember and ask the bouncer to carry me downstairs.
This is the type. Look, I mean, I don't know. It's from Dave Troam. The statement itself is unlawful. Every business is supposed to be fully accessible in 2021. When the DDA came into force in 1995, businesses were given 10 years to make changes to the building, etc., to comply, which technically isn't true. They're supposed to be but it's people like this who wade on in and is talking about litigation. For an innocent middleman, which is Comedy Carnival, and people are coming for Comedy Carnival, going, you need to move your entire business. You should cancel all this. It's like, well, I don't think people understand the time and effort and the amount of work that's been put in.
You know what it is? It's not that they don't understand. It's that they don't care.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
It's the same people who don't care to listen to Dave Chappelle, but want him cancelled. It's the same. No one cares really. They want to see, look how great I am. Look how a hero I am. They're transphobic. This club's fucking disablest. This is, and it's like, what do you expect them to do? The only thing I would have called them out on is that I would have, if I was that same, just pay the £10, man. Send her in an Uber. Go above and beyond, and then you've got a customer for life, and she'd be happy. That's what I would have
100%.
done. And I bet they regret not doing that now.
Well, yeah, probably, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But also, it's social media will blow over in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
there's
which is
something
why
else.
I'm like, I don't know why they're moving, man. They just need to move on.
But Bar Rumba, to be fair, is a pretty shit venue.
Yeah, I've heard it's a cumulative thing, like that no one is allowed in without ID, even if you're 60. But I know what Westminster is like with licensing, and you know, all it takes is a 60-year-old in there who's caught up in an issue. They haven't had their ID scanned, which is something that is on the license. Everyone has to be ID scanned, and then they lose their license and they're fucked. So like it's bureaucracy and red tape, but I'm empathetic to all sides, including, especially, the disabled lady.
And the unvaccinated.
I'm not empathetic to anybody, but I'm still equally in the middle.
Should we, like John Lewis's advert?
Well, we're talking about Nico and his love for gay rights and the gay joke, which leads us nicely on with a somewhat awkward segue to the news that Superman is now gay. Well, his son is gay, to be specific, but gay Superman sounds more, inflammatory. How do we feel about? There you go. Finally, it's what we. You know what's most offensive about this picture?
Yeah.
Right.
The purple hair.
The fucking pink hair, man. Like Superman's fucking good. Look, he's ripped. He's fucking.
Is that
hot.
2 North Down
Yeah.
jacket? No, I think look, I don't give a shit.
I mean, no one's going to read it anyway. What do you think? Clark Bent? You like that?
Is that what it's called?
Cool. Clark Bent, Carl Anal. Take you back to the fortress of sultry dudes. I've been working on my pun.
Super Batty Man.
Well, that's too far.
That's gonna get pulled.
That's good. But listen, but here's my thing, right? I honestly think they've done this just to be divisive. They're pretending it's diversity, but they know what they're doing by making like Superman a gay character. Like, this is what I want to see. I know it's Marvel. I'll only start respecting these things, i.e. when they take the piss out of Christians. Show me the Muslim one. Show me a gay Black Panther. That's what I want to see. I want to see Black Panther sucking a dick in the name of diversity. That I want to see him. I want to see him sucking off Superman. That's what I want to see.
I agree that would have lost them money, and this is going to make them money.
I don't think that's going to make them money.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Who gave get people?
No, who gave a fuck about Superman's son until we saw this? We are part of the marketing machine for this because we give a fuck about Superman kissing or Superman's son kissing another dude. I generally couldn't give a fuck about this at all. People, they're doing this too. It's outrage marketing, and we're part of it by giving this airtime.
But that's what I'm saying. But why don't they do it about like Black? They wouldn't dare do it about Black Panther. They wouldn't dare. Which is my whole point.
No,
that would be too much outrage.
No.
Yeah, they wouldn't dare.
You are with Muslim. A Muslim. If there was a Muslim superhero, then you're
called
correct.
Muhammad.
Correct.
Yeah, that would be like even more outrage.
Yeah, but
that's ultimate outrage.
But I think, you need to.
If you did it with something from that spectrum, but I don't think for them, Black Panther is he Muslim?
No, my point with the Muslims, right? My whole point about all of this.
No. I get what you're saying.
But the Muslim wasn't the superhero. The thing is, like, you always see them like, fuck Jesus, and they do something about like some shitty. They're like, taking a piss out of Jesus. Like, look how brave we are. It's like, okay, I'd respect you for doing that. Do it about the Muslims.
Right, but I'm saying Black Panther isn't Muslim.
No, he's not Muslim.
Right,
but I know they wouldn't dare make Black Panther gay.
That's not true because one of Chappelle's earlier things was, remember when he did that interview and he walked off of that show when they said they want to put him in a dress.
He said they make all black guys.
Why is it always a black guy that they put in a dress for these things? And then you saw that Playboy thing recently, the Playboy bunny, it was a black dude.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't hesitate to make Black Panther.
They would. They wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare.
No, I'm telling you.
It's a balance.
If he was Muslim or had a Muslim slant, they wouldn't touch it. But if he's just a black character, they eventually... I don't see them, being scared off of doing it.
I don't reckon they'd dare make Black Panther gay.
But what's the audience of like the Playboy? And is the
That's
audience...
the thing. The Playboy audience is supposed to be traditionally a straight, hetero,
But is it like more white?
But now
or more black?
It's more white. It's more white. And
That's traditional, right? It's the same about Romania. It's sort of like we're considered more homophobic. So I think the black community is considered more homophobic than the white community. So that's why they wouldn't.
No, but they did it. They did the Playboy thing with a black guy.
Yeah, but to a white audience, not to a Black Panther's audience is
a black audience.
Is a
That's
black
my
audience.
point.
No, they wouldn't. I don't see.
They wouldn't dare, because I know what you're saying. He's saying they're saying.
I get what he's saying, but that hasn't stopped. Again, putting, as Chappelle has said, those movies where the black dude is in a dress or whatever.
But those movies
were
are
for black audience. Some of them were for black audience. Some of them were Martin Lawrence. Some of them Tyler Perry does it on his own volition.
In Living Color.
But
What's his name?
In Living Color and all these, and the one with.
But I'm not even talking about putting in a dress.
Snipes.
I'm not saying put him in a dress. I'm saying make Black Panther gay. I want to see Black Panther sucking off Superman and Superman going, "You're my real kryptonite." That's what I want to see, right?
Because when Martin Lawrence did it was more it was more a mockery. He didn't seriously dress up in a dress. He was mockingly doing it.
He was like
he was mocking the people that dress.
But they kind of always seem to. It's never an Asian or Indian guy in a dress, for some reason.
But I agree with. Yeah, I agree that would be like.
You never see a
even
Chinese.
further down the line.
Yeah, you never see a Chinese guy in a dress.
Thailand, you do.
And this is.
That's racist.
And yeah, Chappelle was bringing that up to Oprah, and it's like, why is it every movie? And he asked the script writer, what does this add to the scene? Putting me in a dress here, what does it add to the scene? And he says, I'm not doing it. And he said, in 2 seconds, he knew something was up because they had already the alternate script. Just boom. So he knew something was
just
up,
going back to the Superman son, I understand it's important to see your heroes or see yourself in your superheroes, and I get that, and I do think it's either straddling the line between that and outrage marketing, where these big sort of Marvel, DC, I don't know which one this is, they sort of have these storylines either to include other people, which I think is good, but I also think it's a double-edged sword. They're kind of using this these images to and how the media are portraying it is to get clicks, because I don't think it's that big a deal.
So my understanding is comic book readership is just plummeted. It's just gone through the ground. Just awful, because the comic book readership obviously it's nerds, right? And they're very loyal to what they like, to the characters, and they see their characters just being disrespected as they see it, and now the readership's down. I agree with you. It'd be good to see. You want to see yourself in your characters that you like.
But no, the problem I think a lot of people have is, why don't you just bring out a new character?
Technically, he is a new character.
This is a new character. Superman's son. This isn't Superman. It's his son.
So technically, they have done that.
It is that. And I think that's kind of why I'm like, why is this news? Why is this such...
I mean, why don't they get a completely
new
different
franchise?
Yeah, a new character, a brand new character.
Because people aren't invested in that. It's kind of
But everything starts from somewhere.
Yeah, but have you seen Hollywood? Have you seen Hollywood recently?
Everything
is just a recycle of something.
I would say why
that
don't
doesn't make it right.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah, but they've got to sell. They've got to sell.
And take a chance on something else. And this is the same thing with Bond. And I could understand that. Yeah, you can have a black James Bond or whatever, but you could also have a new agent come along who's black or whatever.
That's what happened in Bond, I think, as well.
Well, hold on. There's a few issues here. So I agree, right? This is a big thing in all movies. people are upset. They're not upset that there's more diversity. They're not upset that there's more inclusion.
It's
They're
exactly
upset.
the same thing as what we're saying with they're not listening. They're not watching it.
No, they are listening. But what they're upset with is you're taking these things that they've grown up with, these established franchises that they've built through their love, i.e. Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever it may be. I don't like either of them, but whatever it may be, you're taking these franchises and you're using them to push your cause. And Nika's like, I understand about Black James Bond. And you're saying, oh, but they don't want to start a new franchise. Well, Jason Bourne, the Bourne Supremacy, was a new franchise. That could have easily been held by a black dude in that thing, and it would be still been a great series. So you can build new characters, new franchises, new gay characters, new things.
It was in Black Panther. Black Panther is also a new... Is that new?
Yeah, it's new. Well, there you go. They got a black...
He's an old character.
Is he?
No, but he's old.
Oldish.
But he's a new established... They built him up recently, and then now he's got his own established...
finally give him a movie. But yeah.
Well, I feel like franchises need to kind of renew, because then they need to sort of renew the time. The franchises that do exist, they're still going to milk them for money.
Speaking of, have you seen the new Home Alone?
No.
Okay.
Aisling B is in it, and she's English.
What?
Yes.
The hell?
Yes.
I've gigged with Aisling B.
It's crazy.
I can't believe I'm in Home Alone.
I'm
basically in Home Alone. I've gigged with Aisling B. I'm basically famous.
I'm gonna go back to Superman.
Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna say, like, why do they have to make that, like, why can't Superman's dad be gay, but not Superman's son be gay, but not let that be like the main part of the marketing? Like, if it's just people go see the movie and he's like kissing a dude, and that's like normal. But if you put it on the poster, it means you're just trying to milk a movement for money.
But also, someone on Twitter pointed out, technically, Superman's an alien. So actually, this is bestiality.
Speaking of aliens, no, not that one. So Demi Lovato.
Oh, Demi Lovato, yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Lovato.
Well, I just saw Demi Lovato. I think I just saw her do an interview with Kelly Clarkson. Now this is starting to make sense. I think, and I'm not sure, she's taken DMT recently, and I think she's seen in her DMT trips aliens, and now she's coming out about aliens. I think so.
Well, basically...
I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you. Over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing and self-reflective work. And through this work, I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary. With that said, I'll officially be changing my pronouns to they, them. I feel that this best represents the fluidity I feel in my gender expression and allows me to feel most authentic and true to the person I both know I am and still am discovering.
A very personal revelation from American singer and actor Demi Lovato, that they are gender non-binary. The US National Center for Transgender Equality explains that some societies recognize just two genders, male and female. That dichotomy is referred to as a gender binary. So non-binary is one term people use to describe genders that don't fall into one of these two categories. Lovato says they are, quote, doing this for those out there that haven't been able...
I probably should have watched the clip.
You probably should. Well, that had nothing to do with anything we're talking about.
But it is this article where basically Demi Lovato...
It's a really article that says she is standing up for extraterrestrials.
Yes. I don't know why it's not letting me show the bloody title. Demi Lovato is...
You see, this is a perfect example of when people got too much time on their hands.
Yes.
Too much outrage.
Too much privilege. We are so blessed to be living in this society where you can have compassion for aliens. You know what I mean? Like, this is a mad world. So a lot of these things that people come up with, these terms, and like I think unicorn and mermaid is one. This is that is from our privilege and having too much free time.
I agree.
You know, and for ignoring the fact that our iPhones are made by children in China.
Yeah.
Ain't no one gluten free in Ethiopia.
Yeah, and there ain't no child soldiers who are talking about their non-binary.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like working in a...
I'm she here.
A Colton mine or some shit. There's people who are really suffering and working hard. They don't have these issues. They're not concerned with these things.
And they're only suffering and working hard because they're sort of propping up the society.
How do you
They're
feel?
propping up the
Right,
privilege.
How do you feel, Radu? You came, so for years, my mom was going on like, and my mom, she loves it, she's a conspiracy theorist. She would go on for, they're trying to make the whole world communist and it's a big communist conspiracy. She would say that and I'd laugh at her, think she's mental, right? But then recently I'm starting to see like, maybe she's got a fucking bit of a point. I actually used to, and like everything she kind of said, I used to think, she has kind of come in a little bit truer.
Okay.
Like, as someone who lived in a communist society, you grew up under that. How do you see anything reflected? Do you see any similar kind of similarities or anything like that? Or like what?
I'm on the opposite opinion. I kind of feel like capitalism is what's ruining the world. Like communism did ruin my country, but capitalism is ruining the planet.
In what sense?
And this, like the overproduction of shit and overconsumption, and that's basically overconsumption.
Yeah, but he's saying now that we're tilting gradually.
Well, I'm not talking about like
emergence of China.
So basically,
yeah.
I want to know like it's kind of like
China's like a dictatorship. It's not a common.
So what I'm
communist.
talking about though, Radu, is like you say one wrong thing on social media. Someone says you've said some one thing. The club person reports Lico for saying a bad joke, and he's not banned.
They didn't report.
But I know, no. But
they got schooled.
They got schooled, but he's not banned. But the bookings dry up. Like, is that how
the
how
bookings have increased for me?
The bookings have increased for me. But it's the point. Like, is there any like? I kind of feel like with the introduction of like a vaccine passport, all this kind of stuff. Show your papers to fly. Show this. There's just a way that they can turn you off or on, and it's a bit like, you have to. Is it not kind of? Is there not social engineering going on, or is it not?
But yeah, that's basically it's the difference between like dictatorship and then like when too few people hold power, and I think that was the problem where communism didn't really have anything to do with, or capitalism. I switched. We as a country switched sides when I was like 4 or something, and now we're like I think we're one of the most right-wing countries. It's like us and the UK. I think are the most right-wing countries in Europe at this point. Us because we're running away from the past, and the UK because they're trying to preserve the past. I don't know what the question was.
I thought I was being deep, but it's kind of shit.
But no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, with the control and where we're headed towards in terms of like the credit score system and having, as you said, to show papers and the privacy issues and
social
tracking.
Engineering.
Yes, and
I think
I totally agree with you.
I think that I see that more of what happened like in the 19th century in America, and like in the 1920s. That's not in 20th century. In the 1920s, everybody was loose and doing the cha-cha, and then and drinking too much, and then everybody was in the 50s.
Kind of what I'm.
They were the stiffest ever they've been. I feel like we're going through that.
I think we are headed. This is a crucial point in the history of humans. It's like when we were talking about the transhumanism and us becoming like part android almost. We are not far. This is going to usher in. The chip isn't in the vaccine.
Oh, it's in the next vaccine.
Will. It's not going to be in the vaccine.
In the passport.
They're just getting us to get the vaccine now.
The passport leads us. The vaccine passport leads us and brings it in easier. Because what happens, people go, idiots on Twitter go, but you use Google, you can be tracked, or you have a phone, you can be tracked. The point is, at this point in present, I can leave my phone at home, as I often do, and go out and do whatever I want to do at this point in time. So if I don't want to be tracked, then many times I leave my phone at home, I go drop the kids to school, I go to the gym, I go to the supermarket, and I leave my phone at home.
Then he goes for his affair.
Please cut that out. There's no
Someone's watching.
There's no
Is that why you always come round, Nico, out the phone?
So I can do that and leave my phone at home, and then Google doesn't have a record of that. But now with the vaccine passport, just like Chappelle or whatever, to go to Chappelle, I had to show a negative COVID test.
Oh,
and once, yeah. So once now you say, all businesses, nightclubs, supermarkets, you have to show the pass. Then I can't do that anymore. I have to take my phone with me everywhere I go. So therefore, what comes next after that? They're gonna say, oh, to make it easier, we just gonna put in this chip or whatever.
RFID.
This chip, so that you don't have to, bring the phone or whatever you. So at this point in time, everything is not tracked. But if the vaccine passport allows everything to be tracked in one position, and you have that on you all the time, supermarket, nightclub, whatever.
I totally agree. Like all throughout human history, it's been like the regular people fighting the government. The government is trying to suppress regular people. That's been like every country all throughout history. But now the government has the most power it's ever had over us, the most sort of control power that it's ever had. With cards, banks, everything, it's sort of...
Yeah, and once cash is gone, cash is gone, just like they shut off the people didn't have access to their funds in Lebanon or one of these places. Mm-hmm. Which one? The banking system went down in, was it Lebanon?
I think so.
Yeah. So once you don't have cash, and that was one of the things which was a conspiracy theory. They were saying cash spreads COVID because you're touching it and whatnot. So once cash is gone and you can't use cash on certain trams in Europe and whatnot.
You can't use cash on a bus.
Yeah.
In England.
So there's certain eventually cash will go, and then every single transaction, every single entry, every single thing will be tracked, and data is the most valuable commodity right now. So all of these people who go, oh, you're being conspiracy theorists. No, data. They want your data.
They don't understand the power of data.
Yeah, they can manipulate you through your data. They can learn more about you and consumer behavior. And the whole point of government and corporations is to control you and to get you do what they want. So I don't understand who these people who are like, no, it's not. And call it a conspiracy theory. It is in every society. There are people. Society, every faction of society is like this, shaped like this. You want to be at the top. That's human nature. You want to have stuff that people don't have. So why is it that, let's say even football, you want certain clubs, they want to go and start the Super League. That's a natural thing. Or we are the best comedians.
Like Tottenham. Why are Tottenham in that Super League? That's a joke.
Yeah. Let's go and start our own thing. So why wouldn't they be people who are politicians or owners of corporations who are like, well, we're the biggest and the best, and let's team up and let's control,
and the thing is, though, you said, every country does that, but what feels like now is all of the countries have joined together, and this is simultaneously happening all around the world to different degrees.
Yeah.
And my point about what I was trying to say is feeling like communist is like, I think there's a social engineering going on. So even the fact that we're saying, Dave Chappelle's brave because he makes jokes about that, we think he's brave because we know, everyone in here, probably everyone listening, you're not allowed to make fun about trans people. That's against our social engineering about what we're made to think, what we're made to say. And that is kind of what I wanted to put to you. Like when your family, maybe your grands or did they have to think the same way? They couldn't make fun of who, I don't know, is it Ceausescu? Is he your...
Yeah, they couldn't. There was, a lot of people went to like jail, and then if you didn't, you had like a nice life.
Yeah, and that's how it is now.
But that's
if you say the wrong. If you say the wrong thing now,
you just get tortured if you stray from the written path.
Yeah. But that never used to be the case. But now that is the case. Like if you were to say, gender is a biological fact or whatever, if you wanted to say that, someone could say that's hate speech, and they could.
I think a lot of this is online because you can have conversations with people face to face, and people are normal. And they'll listen to, generally people are normal and they will...
Yeah, your friends are, but if you go to if you talk to the wrong person or...
I don't know. I've had conversations with people and there's dialogue. There is dialogue. We have disagreeing points of view on things, but it's not the same as it is in 140 characters where everything is just snipped and it's sensationalized.
But my whole point is I feel there's a very overarching thing. There's definitely social engineering going on, which will lead us to the John Lewis advert. But we're being made to think what to say, how to think, how to bring your kids up.
And no more so the big tech companies are driving it, and the big tech companies seem to be all left leaning.
Yeah.
And they and YouTube they're skewing everything. Anything slightly right wing, or with the vaccine stuff, or Trump, or what, they just pulling it. They just cut. They're so what they call, is it what, the Overton window in terms of what is acceptable thought. They're just curating it. Whereas there's thoughts out there that do exist that don't suit their
like you say with the lab leaks theory, that was would get you, just saying that on YouTube would get your videos pulled, demonetized, or censored in another way, but now is a credible theory that is being,
and is the most likely.
Right now they're trying to get Dave Chappelle the closer pulled, and if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, audience scores 97%, critics 33%, or other way around, right? Critics love it, critics hate it, audience love it, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Nanette was the other way.
No, Nanette was the other way. But meanwhile, Cuties, which I think we can all, if you recall, is basically just fucking porn, pedophilia, sanctioned pedophilia for fucking nonsense, right? Is none of the left are trying to pull that. They were celebrating that, like, oh, what a thing. And this is the insipid social engineering that people are feeling the pushback to, and then they're getting silenced online, and like, I don't know.
But that's the thing as well. I want to do my new special, but I'm scared to put it on YouTube. I'm scared
down in 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm scared because I got vaccine jokes in there. I got the joke that the guy complained about in there. I will have that in there, and several other kind of like what will be seen now as right-leaning stances in there, but they used to be normal, but we've shifted so far left in terms of the shaping of society that they now seem like right-leaning ideas.
It feels like if you don't say get the vaccine, everybody, that's if you don't say that, anything around that is right-leaning.
Yeah, it's like it's like when I went to the comedy club and this other comedian comes up to me and he goes, "I've seen your Twitter, Neeks. The optics look far right." I'm like, what are you talking about?
You know what? So someone came out. I did a show on Tuesday. I was the best, obviously. But afterwards, a guy came up to me and said he listened to the podcast, which is amazing. Thank you. His name was Rush, and he has a question for you. So he was an Asian dude, and he said, "Can you ask Nico why he's like a black dude from Barbados, but seemingly he leans to the right politically?" So like, how is that? Because my understanding is, although Black Lives Matter and everyone wants to say, oh, they're all really left, black people are very conservative, in general, are very religious, very conservative, tight families. But anyway, he put that to you. He wanted to know, how comes you're kind of more, Leo Curse hate speech, and less Darius Davies love everyone?
I would say I love everyone. I would say I believe in freedom. I believe you should always have a choice in things like that, and those are the things I think that make me seem right wing.
But is that a Bayesian mindset? Would you say that's typical of, like, in Barbados? Is everyone like?
No, but this is the thing. This is the problem.
I was trying to put some American music in the background just there. So I believe in freedom. I believe in it.
I believe in Jesus. And my guns. No, but what it is this is the thing, and people try to say this. We try to look at black as one monolith, or black. It's the same thing that Biden and Kamala and them people do. Yeah, if you don't vote for Democrat, you're not black. Remember when Biden said that? And then he said about Latin Americans, he said, oh, Latin American is a culture with rich and diverse different points of view.
You all vote for me now.
Whereas the black community is like, he's seeing them as just, you guys like hip hop, chicken, and that's it.
Didn't he say, he said something like, black kids can be just as clever as white kids.
Yeah, and all of these things that people have that, no, they're black conservatives out there. They're black, whatever religion out there. They're not all one religion. There are black gay people out there, and then there are black people who are homophobic. So we are just as varied as everybody else. So to think that black people are there are black people that don't agree with Black Lives Matter.
Well, I think
so. Black people are just as varied and as cultured and sophisticated as all the other races. So to think that because I'm a black dude, I'm gonna be like straight down the line on every single issue and be like, the Democrats. The Democrats have done terrible things to black people.
Yeah.
I think both parties manipulate and use black people in different ways. It's just that it's like when Malcolm X said the liberal, he said the liberal is like the fox, and he rather deal with the wolves sometimes, because the wolf, meaning the Republicans, and the whereas the liberal pretends to be your friend. But that time he got on sheep's clothing.
Yeah, the liberal still thinks of him as the top
better,
of the chain.
yeah, as better. So the liberal is like, I need to, it's that patronizing thing. I need to run black society. These people don't know what's best for them.
They don't know what's,
Yeah. So I need to control them and blah, 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 which is a different type of racism. So Malcolm X, one time he was like, listen, I rather deal with the wolf because I know what the wolf is about. Whereas the liberal is a fucking fox.
Smiling at you and
he's smiling at you and then stab you in the back. So to say, I believe when it comes to things, people should have a choice. I believe in
a thing called love.
Yeah. But so I am pro immigration. That's a left-leaning thing, but when it comes to the vaccine and stuff, I guess I go on. It's like Chris Rock said, this whole right-left thing, he's like, I'm right on some issues, I'm left on some issues. So I guess maybe I'm a centrist, but I wouldn't say I am like hardcore one or the other. It depends on the issue.
I put it to him, Rush. I said I would, and I did. That's Nico's back.
Cool. We've dwelled on some topics quite a lot in this pod, and there's a few that I think we should touch on quickly, try and lighten it up. Do you want to talk about we've got the John Lewis ad, we've got Lizzo, and
pull up Lizzo.
Is that someone at the door?
You can't just stop the podcast midway.
No, because we've run over, and they've got to get some bits from the thing. So we've got Lizzo looking all lovely.
Pull up the one I put in the group.
This one.
Yeah.
Can't be mad at one and not the other.
Because yes, people are saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm mad at that because Rihanna looks disgusting there. Absolute shit. As this, and there you've got my voluptuous goddess, Lizzo.
I like Lizzo, man. Yeah. I like the music. I couldn't give a fuck what she wears, but
me neither. Nico,
well, would you tap that, Darius?
Yeah?
Would you tap that?
Well, I'm a married man, but yeah.
No, but some people like that.
I would. She's still fit.
She's not fit.
She's not fit.
What type of fit we talking? We talking
I don't know.
Aerobically fit or appearance-wise fit?
I'm talking stunning and brave fit.
She's still not old and fat. She's young and fat.
But like, look, so she's fat. She's fat. Like she can wear what she wants. I don't think it's a big deal.
I think she's got the curves in the right places. Just a few added curves as well, but she's got big tits, big ass.
But
she's almost, and she's got a nice face. She's a meal deal, man. Tits, ass, and face. What do you want?
She's not a snack.
Radu?
She's a meal deal.
She's not a snack, but she's a meal deal.
She looks sparkly. more sparkle on her than on Rihanna.
Yeah, a lot more sequins.
Is that your type of woman? Would you go for that, Radu?
No, it's sort of. I don't like to feel the smaller one. I like to feel like the shorter one, but not necessarily like the the thinner one.
Yeah,
I can't. I like cuddling, and I need to be able to get my hand around the other person.
It's one of Radu's few requirements.
You need to be good for cuddling.
The women in Eastern Europe are traditionally slim, though.
Oh, well, traditionally we have less food in Eastern Europe than in Western Europe.
Yes. That's one of the things I noticed. I was like, all these Romanian and Bulgarian women are very, very slim.
One thing that is big this week that we haven't touched on
the one
is...
that you noticed and talk to them.
No, seriously.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Sorry.
Sort of Little Mix star Jessie Nelson and her blackfishing accusations, which is...
time platform. I don't even know what we call it anymore. I've given up.
Again,
I bet this got nothing to do with
Yeah, no, because I haven't watched this clip either. So,
Can't you just show a picture of her?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well.
She's blatantly blackfishing, this woman.
Yeah. Well, this is basically...
Thank you, babe.
This is Nicki Minaj.
Like, that really means a lot. And I just, as well, I think while we're on this
Thank you, babe. It really means a lot.
Say that, like,
you
know, my intention is was never ever to offend people of colour with this video and my song, because, you know, like I said, growing up as a young girl, like, this is the music that I listen to. These are the videos that I watched.
These are the videos I watched.
Thought were the best. Like, for me personally, like 90s, 2000s hip hop R&B music, I will stand to this day. It's the best era of music that was made.
Well, I think basically, so she's getting heat from people like Zizi Mills for and she's being accused of blackfishing.
But you know what it is? I had a conversation with a friend of mine about this, and I was like, oh, well, it's just the style. And then she's like, yeah, but the thing is, it's not like Eminem, who grew up in the rap game, he's been rapping, his style hasn't changed. It's like, oh, 1 minute she's doing bubble pop, like, I'm your girlfriend, you could be my boyfriend, we're a friend. And then suddenly she's like, yeah, now I'm fucking, she's purely using black culture, which I actually usually not bothered about cultural appropriation, but I can see where they're coming. She's using it to sell records, and she is exploiting that.
It's like what Paul Mooney said. Everybody want to be black, but nobody want to be black. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Justin Timberlake did something. I think
they said that about him as well.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
back in the day or recently?
Nah, he gets rinsed from certain quarters of the hip hop R&B community for being
She did, because she switched up her whole look, and she's and so if you watch the actual video, it's all black dudes in wife beaters, and it's like
it's a Puff Daddy remake.
Oh, by the way, Puff Daddy in that video looks young. P Diddy looks younger now than he did in 2000. He's had a hair transplant. Just saying.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he?
Did he?
Hey! I did that.
I think that's the first joke of the fucking pod.
I think this has been a good pod. I did Clark Bent. That was funny. Clark Bent.
Hey.
Clark Bent.
There we go.
Fortress of Sultry Dudes. Carl Anal.
That's a good one. That's better
a good
than
one.
But yeah, what were we saying? What are we saying?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Because I was having this discussion with my wife as well about there is a difference, because it's like what some people say, oh, you shouldn't do jokes like Chappelle said about Chappelle. You shouldn't do jokes about the gay community. Or one of the criticisms was about people doing gay jokes is that if you're not gay, you shouldn't do gay jokes. Which is, I think that is nonsense. I think that's folly. Because if you are a person who sees things around, you're an artist, you should be able to talk about or have an opinion on everything. Yeah. So to say a person who is straight can't talk about gay issues, or to say a Christian can't talk about Muslim issues is nonsense. Or to say whatever, you know what I mean? A woman can't talk about man issues or trans issues is ridiculous. Yeah. So that'd be like saying Quentin Tarantino shouldn't have made Django, which is a movie about a black slave. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you should be able to talk about and
I would say like
have an opinion or do art on whatever. The problem comes is when you are, I guess in her instance, she appears to have darker skin.
You could have a suntan.
Yeah, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah. She appears to have darker skin in the video,
Intentional
and then her accent has changed. Is she? She's
I
using.
don't know if her accent.
Yeah, I think
changed.
she's
it's-
using like slang, American slang. You know, like.
She's talking jive.
She's talking. Yeah, you jive turkey. Yeah. She's using. I think I haven't watched the video, but I think that is part of
It's
it.
number one. This
she's-
track. I think it's doing well.
Yeah.
But that don't mean nothing.
No, but I'm just saying that it's kind of like
Jedward almost went number one.
Apparently, Jedward are really nice guys. I was chatting to some guy who runs a venue. He said Jedward off stage are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the really nice ones that are dickheads. But anyway, I don't know.
But yeah, so I think the issue is when you become something that you are not and put on accent. That was the problem they had with that white rapper as well. That girl, what was her name? The Australian
Iggy
girl.
Azalea.
Iggy Azalea.
What happened to her?
It's like
she started saying some wild shit, and I think it's been cancelled. Was that?
Yeah, she's faded away into obscurity. So
I'm gonna Google her.
I'm thinking it's Azealia Banks actually. She said some wild shit and got cancelled.
yeah, but Iggy, when you hear her talk, really, she had obviously an Australian accent or whatever. But when she would go to interviews or to freestyle, she would put on a black
but
accent.
she failed when she got told to freestyle, didn't
Freestyle
she?
was
And
trash.
She just couldn't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then
So
it was like, nah, get
she
out
got
of here.
found out she's just a pure gimmick. So that's the problem. When you're just become or pretend to be something.
But if she
you're
had smashed the freestyle, she would have done, or they would have accepted
probably,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
as I said, Eminem was the real deal. He grew up in hip hop. He always was a rapper and showed appreciation for others in the community and the culture. So it's like when you're just, let me dip in and dip back out. That's the problem.
Yeah, but so I think, but I don't think it's fair on her when you're in a manufactured boy band or girl band.
Yeah, pop. Yeah,
and you're part of something that you don't really have control of. You
have to take some responsibility off of it.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like you in show business. You gain success in any way you can, and then once you've got a bit of notoriety, then you can spread your wings a bit.
No. I agree with Radu. There's certain things where you gotta be like, if you're a true artist, these are operating at the pop fame level. I just want fame, blah blah blah. But true artists, it's like someone like Denzel, or there are people who are like, I'm gonna turn down this role because it doesn't fit my vision or who I want to be. Whereas they're fame whores. They're people who will do anything for fame and be like, you want to do this advert for something you totally disagree with? Yeah, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
People
and
like
then,
me.
No, but so we talk about this in comedy a lot.
Then there's some people who have integrity.
It's about different paths to your final sort of end game, or what you want, what art you want to do. And you're sort of also discounting people whose tastes change over the years. Do you know what I mean? So someone who would have been involved in this and liked this sort of music, but then they've got influences, and it's sort of like how bands change their music after 3 or 4.
I don't think anyone cares about her changing the music so much. It was more her whole style and appearance and everything. I actually asked this girl, chatting to her, and that's what
this
she
sounds
said.
like Michelle.
No, it wasn't Michelle. It was a random. It was just another friend of mine.
Okay.
And I said, "Do you think it's blackfishing?" And I was about to go, you can't." And then I was like,
You know
"Actually,
one
you know
more
what?
black person than Michelle.
Man, I know loads of black people. I know 3 of them, including you, Michelle, and that girl."
And that's probably the truth, Yeah.
Come on now. I speak jive.
You jive turkey.
That's blackfishing.
There you go. Well, we've got anything else on there to say? I think we've gone quite long.
We haven't even played the John Lewis ad, but
I don't think we should. I think we've covered enough issues. We don't need to bring that down. It's unless you want. The only thing you want to watch it. The only thing I was
just play the ad
play
just
it,
quickly,
play
just
it.
quickly, and let's get out of here.
Stevie Nicks, good song.
All products from John Lewis.
This is Home Insurance from John Lewis.
What do we think?
That's fucking toxic masculinity for you right there. That the little girl has to do her homework. Meanwhile, the white middle class, toxically masculine boy is going around breaking the shit out of the house, throwing stuff everywhere. Parents not doing anything. The mother's too afraid to interrupt. Meanwhile, John Lewis Home Insurance says, "Oh, we'll cover you." So if you do get John Lewis Home Insurance, just say you got trashed by your kids, and if they say it's not covered, say, but my son was wearing a dress at the time. And they say, "Oh, sorry, sir," then it's covered. Yeah. That's social engineering, though, that advert.
Yeah, I think this is, but again, it's that, and it's also outrage advertising.
It's both. They both go in tandem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
good song.
Good song, man.
Here's the thing, though. Like, it's like, remember when Lewis Hamilton got in trouble for telling his cousin or nephew that boys don't wear dresses? You guys remember that?
Yeah.
And he had to take down his whole Instagram, and he went offline because he was getting heat. His nephew put on a dress, and he goes, "Boys don't wear dresses."
Nah.
And here's the thing: if you are a parent, you should be able to have. And if you came out and said that you don't let your kids wear whatever, you get in trouble today. People look down on you. Like if you had a son and you said, "I don't let my son wear dresses," people would attack you on Twitter for saying that.
Don't mention it on Twitter, baby.
Yeah. You would get in trouble.
The smallest grievance I have with my dad is him not letting me wear what I want. I once had like some red sneakers he didn't let me wear. That was it.
That's the point I'm getting to. In my house, you couldn't, like, you remember when MC Hammer came out and he had his big
Parachute
baggy
pants.
trousers? Yeah. I wanted
Can't
to wear
this.
I wanted to wear those, and my dad like, "Don't wear those in my house." You know what I mean? Your dad had strict rules, a strict dress code back in the Caribbean, what you could and couldn't wear. So
Wasn't it too hot
Dads
for that
are
shit
sad
anyway?
about getting old as well, so they don't want to see any sort of young culture in the house. They want to see the children, but not whatever makes them old.
I had an earring once. I came home, my dad's like, "Take that out right now. That's gay." I went, "No, it's on the left side. It's straight." Take it out.
Take it out and talk differently.
It lasted. So that's gay. So no, it's
I have my ear pierced as well, and my dad says, "Oh, we got 2 girls in here now." We got 2 girls. Yeah. And then one time I went and got my hair done like Snoop Dogg's. I got it relaxed, slicked down, like
I've seen that one.
like Cat Williams.
You look,
My dad was like, "All these girly things." Like he had a headache, man. He was like, "Yeah, good." Because my mom wanted 2 boys and 2 girls. So when I came in with that Snoop Dogg slick back, he's like, "Cause my mom is Mavis." He's like, "Mavis, you got your wish."
I love the fact that your mum's name's Mavis. She sounds like someone from Coronation Street from the 60s. All right, should we call it a day?
Let's call it a day. We've done quite a bit of time.
We've done quite a lot. First of all, Radu, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Honestly, really fantastic.
Everybody go and watch Radu's. What did he call the bit?
COVID economics.
COVID economics on YouTube.
Oh, it's really good.
It's the best COVID lockdown joke that's out there, in my opinion.
COVID economics, Radu. Also, like and subscribe. Although we never tell you to do that, we did last week, and we went from 130 to 160. So maybe we can get to 200. And then
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, it means nothing, but please like and subscribe. Anything to promote before you go?
I'm doing some jokes October 20th.
That's a solo show.
Yeah, it's new jokes.
But it's a stand-up. It's your
yeah,
it's an
stand-up.
hour.
At Top Secret Comedy Club.
Okay, wicked.
yeah,
So,
come
so
check
go
it
there, check out Nico's Instagram. COVID economics, Radu, anything to
Yeah,
promote?
I have like a website, raduisaac.com, and just go on the website, see the dates, come to the show, say hi to me, buy me a drink,
Yeah.
go
Radu,
out.
Radu likes drinks. He's very friendly. Mooch, anything
No,
going
no.
on Vauxhall? Ding Dong Gong
Ding
Show.
Dong Gong Show.
That's
This is
going well?
Yeah, it's going really well.
So go to that on a Sunday if you're free. I have absolutely zero to promote. Current battles continue apace. And on that note, thank you so much for free speech. Good night. Goodbye. Bye.
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 There you go. I enjoyed that podcast.